Hey, what's happening? Welcome back to the GM. I'm your guy, Boulanger. And up next in this video, I want to get into how the Ravens have mismanaged Lamar Jackson's era over the last 5 years. I'm gonna show you 21 years of Super Bowl history and how important it is uh, and will be for a team to maximize the talent around a quarterback still on their rookie deal and how that plays a part in them showing up in the Super Bowl and or winning the Super Bowl. The numbers were shocking. Now, what I'll tell you as I get this pulled up is um, there's 44 chances in the era that I'm going to show you. There's about 22 years of time that we're going to cover. And all right, let me see where I got this at. There's 22 years of time. And over that time frame, Uh, there's been 44 chances, two quarterbacks, two teams, which means 2 times 22 is 44. So that's how I got that number. So anyway, let's jump into this, and we're gonna look at slide up a little bit, and we're gonna start with Tom Brady. And we all understand uh that Tom Brady, kind of slid on the scene. It wasn't, he wasn't a big name or anything like that. But because of a Drew Bledsoe injury, Tom Brady got his opportunity and took advantage of it. So when Tom Brady won the Super Bowl in 2001, guess what he was on? He was on his rookie deal, right? And so when we slide down to Tom Brady's second appearance in the Super Bowl in 2003, guess what he was at the end of? His rookie deal. This would have been his fifth year option year. And excuse me, as we know, he won the Super Bowl again. So we have two scenarios where a quarterback on his early deal, on his first deal, shows up in the Super Bowl. Now let me show you how this plays a big factor. As we see in '04, Tom Brady wins Super Bowl again. Now he's certainly off his rookie deal at this point, but what we can surmise is that when you can maximize a team around the quarterback while he's on his rookie deal, those other big acquisitions are already in place, right? And so this is what happens uh, in New England. We know they didn't really go out and get a lot of big name players, but what they did do is they were able to maximize the level of talent and consistent talent around Tom Brady. So now we have three scenarios where maximizing the talent around a quarterback while he's on his rookie contract. That's including the fifth year option because the money is not as expensive. Uh, has led to showing up in the Super Bowl or winning the Super Bowl. But let's not stop there. We see in 2005, guess who we see? We see Ben Roethlisberger. And what do we know about Ben Roethlisberger? This is his second year. He was drafted in '04. So here we have another quarterback who shows up in the Super Bowl uh, on his rookie deal, right? Because you can, like again, you can keep talent and you can maximize talent. So we got four situations, right? Okay. If we scroll down a little bit, we're gonna run into, excuse that noise outside, a car going by. Uh, we got Eli Manning showing up in the Super Bowl, right? And we know that they beat Tom Brady, Tom Brady led team. But guess what Eli Manning's on? His rookie deal because he was drafted in '04. Do you see where this thing's going? Uh, and then if you look right down at 2008, guess who shows up again in the Super Bowl? Ben Roethlisberger, still in that early contract, which is less expensive. So what I'm saying, what's the point that I'm making thus far is that you're able to maximize talent around that quarterback on that cheap deal and maintain good talent that you already possess. All right. So we got five scenarios, five cases where a quarterback's on his rookie deal and he shows up in the Super Bowl or wins the Super Bowl. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. Let's look at Let's see here. We see Aaron Rodgers, and he plays Ben Roethlisberger again. Now we know Ben Roethlisberger is off his rookie contract at this point, but the talent's already available now. See, the talent's already on the team. And if you look at the next year, right? Eli Manning off his rookie deal, but the talent's already in place, right? So you can see sustained success when you can maximize the talent while that guy's on his rookie deal. And then you still got your draft picks. Why? Because you didn't have to go out and trade for people. You were able to bring people in and pay them because your quarterback's contract was so inexpensive at that time. So now we have 7 scenarios thus far. Um, so then if we travel down to 2012, well, we know what that season meant for the Baltimore Ravens. It's our second Super Bowl. Who's there? Joe Flacco. And we know that Joe Flacco was on his rookie deal, right? Because he got paid the next year. Although he was on that 5th year option, that's still part of the part of the rookie contract. Okay. And then if you look to the other side, who he competed against, Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was on what? You said it, his rookie deal, because he was drafted in 2011. Now we're up to 9 scenarios. Okay. If you look down to 2013, who shows up? Russell Wilson on his rookie deal. He was drafted in 2011, along with Cam Newton and Colin Kaepernick and those guys. Okay, so now we got 10 cases. All right, let's keep rolling. Remember I talked about sustained success. Russell Wilson shows up in the Super Bowl again, loses the Super Bowl on the stupidest play call I think in NFL history, but we won't get into that. But but here you have 11 cases because he shows up in 2 Super Bowls back to back. Why? Because they was able to maintain the talent and keep that stud defense in place. All right. If we go down to 2015, um, we see Cam Newton, right? Drafted in 2011, 2015. That's only 4 years, rookie deal in the Super Bowl. Now I know that they had supplemental offensive parts, but they were able to keep those 2 good running backs in place. They were able to sign and keep Greg Olsen in place, and they were able to keep all that defense, though all those defensive parts in place, which is what led that team. So now we're up to 13 or 14 scenarios, different scenarios that shows if you can maximize that quarterback's rookie deal and put good talent around him, success can be sustainable. All right. We slide down a little bit more. Uh, we see Nick Foles win the Super Bowl in 2017. Now, I know Nick Foles ain't on his rookie deal, but guess who was? Carson Wentz, who was the leader of that team up until I think week 14 or 15, maybe week 16 of that year where he got hurt on a running play. But then Nick Foles was able to uh, finish the deal, but without Carson Wentz being on his rookie deal and them able to maximize all the talent that they had that they had on that team, you know what I'm saying. See, when Nick Foles stepped in, because the talent was so good, all he had to do was manage the game, make a few plays here and there. Super Bowl was in their hands because it was the pass rush that got to Tom Brady and really kind of put that game away. Well, you can't have a good pass rush unless you got the cap space to do so. We're up to 15 different scenarios thus far. All right. We go down to 2018. Um, I think Jared Goff may have been on his 4th or 5th year. And then, and they had nice talent around that team, around Jared Goff. And so now we're up to 16 different scenarios where a quarterback either shows up in the Super Bowl or can win the Super Bowl while still on that rookie deal. All right. And if we jump down to 2019, this is Patrick Mahomes in his 2nd year. Guess what he's on, guys? He's on his rookie deal. And we know that they were able to sign and keep Travis Kelce. They were able to sign and keep Tyreek Hill. Those guys were already there when Patrick Mahomes got there. But then they were able to bring in guys like Frank Clark. They were able to bring in guys like Chris Jones. Uh, it seemed like it was another big name. They went and got Sammy Watkins when he still was a viable option. And so they were able to maximize the talent around Patrick Mahomes, put him in the Super Bowl. And then if you look at the very next year, guess who's in the Super Bowl again? Patrick Mahomes, right? So I'm telling you, the numbers are telling us that you have to maximize that guy and the talent around him, not just on one side of the ball, but on both sides of the ball. You understand what I'm saying, Baltimore Ravens Nation? All right. And so if we keep on, if we keep rolling along here, uh you see Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow. Well, what do we know about Joe Burrow? Did that this would have only been Joe Burrow's second year, I believe it was, where they were able to keep all the pieces to the puzzle, go out and get more. They drafted right, maximize the talent around him. They didn't trade away T. Higgins because they was afraid of uh, being over the cap space at some point. They were able to keep Tyler Boyd. Those guys were already in place. And then they brought in Jamar Chase and put some defensive pieces in, around Joe Burrow. And he ended up in the Super Bowl. So we have out of 44 um, opportunities for a quarterback on the rookie deal to end up in a Super Bowl, if you maximize the talent, we end up with 21 or 22. I lost count along the way, 21 or 22. That's almost 50% of the time that if you maximize that quarterback's rookie deal, the Super Bowl is an option. And Ravens fans, I don't know about you guys, but that really, really uh gets on my nerves because we had plenty of opportunity to maximize the talent around Lamar Jackson. There was plenty of guys that moved teams, plenty of guys that were available. But the thing that we did is we continued to try and go add pieces to the defense, but we never really made that trade to add a piece or pieces to the offense. We know in the Lamar Jackson era that Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs, um, Jalen Hurts now is in the Super Bowl. Went out and got they got AJ Brown for him now. And what I'll tell you is that it is 22 exactly, so 50% because I forgot about Jalen Hurts. Okay, so he's in the Super Bowl now. But let's see who else got talent. Um, we know that a young Trevor Lawrence, they went out and got some pieces to put around him. He ended up in the playoffs with his team. Uh, we know that the Cleveland Browns, they tried to help Baker Mayfield out. They went out and got Odell Beckham. They brought in Jarvis Landry. And then they made some other draft picks. And even before he got traded, they had went and traded for Amari Cooper. Now you telling me the Baltimore Ravens couldn't have went and got any of those guys? They couldn't have went and got Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, all these guys. We couldn't have sacrificed um, one of the other big names for a number one. It just is just not making sense. Has not made sense. And so here we are, man, facing free agency, uh, and not really knowing what the future of the Ravens is at this point. So listen, man, that's what I have for you guys today, man. Let me know what you want me to know, man. If you like this kind of content, man, if I can keep bringing it to you, hit the like button, hit subscribe, man, on the way out the door. I'm your guy Boulanger. This is the GM, and I'm out.